on the outside. We never really saw any trucks run the. Oh, trouble already.
Stuart Friesen, the 52, involved. He got the worst of it.
I'm not sure, Vince.
Let me look at it when you come back around here. I'll check you out.
He did a nice job getting that thing heading in the right direction, but the truck he was racing, was that the... I couldn't tell exactly who it was. I'm afraid it was Brett Moffitt, one of the favorites to win this race today. After practice yesterday, I think he would be the odds-on favorite to win. Yes, there's some damage to that 16 truck.
A lot of damage.
A bad qualifying effort for that team got him back in the 12th position. He was fast yesterday in practice, but he has equal amount of damage as Friesen.
Here's what happened. Keep an eye on. There's the 16. Oh, it looks like Friesen maybe got bumped from behind by David Gilliland, possibly.
I think he was trying to stay off of Matt Crafton and may have got out of the throttle there for just an instant, and that where the bump may have come from.
Oh, he's just loose under Crafton, and then he just slides back up the hill. And poor Brett Moffitt. That's just such a tough break. You talked about 2 and 3 wide, Vince. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Let's watch from Myatt Snyder's view.
Inside. Clear low. Get low. Hurry. All clear. Nice job. Back her down.
Talking about a nice job. Watch the 51 here. Harrison Burton go through. Goes low and just hammers it.
Cody Coughlin doing a nice job avoiding the 98 of Grant Enfinger.
I mean, that's as good of a job as I've ever seen a group of trucks do.
Absolutely.
Missing the crash on the front straightaway. That was huge. And
It's not a situation where tire changer.
And Snyder gets into Hill, and Hill into the wall.
Keep it up there.
We saw Snyder's truck very loose.
Well, he got down
practice.
underneath that, again, he got underneath that seam there right at the bottom of the track, and that caused his truck to get loose and got into Austin Hill.
Well, he had nearly the same fate in qualifying. The truck got really loose with him when he clipped that apron. And anytime you're on the inside of another truck and you dive down in the corner, we talked about aerodynamics. Your arrow is out the window, and he's really low on the entry there. That means he's going to be low on the track. You see him clip the apron there, gets sideways, fights it to keep it off of Hill, but eventually they make contact.
He just needs more room when he gets loose down there, and that's the room he didn't have. Austin was right there. You see the damage to that United Rentals truck, the left rear corner of that truck.
That's just a young guy getting in over his head a bit there on the entry of the turn, and unfortunately took another racer with him. I think there's not much damage to the Snyder truck, and maybe the 0-2 of Hill can get going again. But you see right there where it bottoms out, that just pushes him up the hill just enough.
A tough break for Austin Hill. He had back-to-back top 10s. Let's watch it here from the view of Myatt Snyder. Austin Hill on his right.
That's just a bad angle right there, Phil. When you enter the corner that low.
Keep it up there.
That's spotter Brett Griffin.
I don't think it's
out.
And there's Stuart Friesen. Mike, you were talking about that right front.
That's exactly what that looks like, and that's what Dover is notorious for. Could you imagine trying to build a tire that would stand up to what these truckers put them through? And I'm not going to speculate, but like I said, any issue with the right front camber or the way that truck lands in the corner on that tire, if you're not exactly right and you run that many laps, that could be the result.
And maybe start out with a little bit too little air pressure early on in the run. There's so many things that can cause that, but tremendous amount of damage to that 52 truck.
And you remember, he's already been involved in one accident earlier in the race, so that could have been just enough. Knock the toe off in the front end, just enough.
And we're talking about a 1/16 of an inch is all it would take to knock that toe out.
It's a shame for Friesen, too. He came into this race 6th in the playoff standings, but only 4 points to the good in regards to that playoff cut line. I know we got a long way to go before the playoffs begin, but every single race makes a difference if you have a bad day, and it can really be detrimental to you from a points perspective.
Tough break for Brett Moffitt. The team had elected to come to pit road and try to take advantage. You see on the high side Friesen there. He tried to take advantage of putting those fresh tires on sooner than the leaders, making up some ground and getting back in a position to contend for the win. And just as he came to pit road, Stuart Friesen had an issue.
Well, that's just what we were talking about in regards to Harrison Burton last year.
Right,
Very
exactly.
similar situation. Camping World 20 to go here at Dover, Sauter barely got through that.
What an amazing job by Johnny Sauter and his spotter tab board. And as well, Noah Gregson, he came along there just a second later.
Tony Hirschman had the same challenges with Gregson as they approached the spinning truck, excuse me.
Jordan Anderson in the 3, and I believe that's the 45 of Justin Fontaine. And it is Fontaine that has come to a stop on the inside wall, just on the exit of turn 2.
Fontaine's had an adventurous day, hasn't he? Been sideways a couple times. Finally got together with Anderson. Oh, good. He's going to be able to pull away. That means a quick caution. See the flat tire on the right front of the 45 truck there.
Yeah, he kept it out of that inside wall. A lot of times we see those trucks with considerable damage when they get into the inside wall.
Anderson was running 17th and Fontaine 19th. Both 3 laps down at the time.
Might be a little contacted. Did Fontaine bounce off the apron for just an instant there?
Pretty good contact in the outside wall for Anderson. And look
Wendell Chavis did a nice job getting through there in front of Johnny Sauter.
And watch this 18 truck of Gregson come through here. Look at that. Had to move to the middle, to the bottom. Nice work.
So the 2 leaders, or the leader and the second place driver, Noah Gregson, dodging a bullet there.
This will be good.
From the view of Gregson.
Down, watch this one come back easy, come again. Middle, come low. Clear out. Yeah, yellow.
Side by side down the back stretch, going to turn 3. Oh! Contacted Gregson into the wall hard.
You're right, Noah. Sorry. It's okay. Hey, catch your breath. No rush. Catch your breath. It's okay.
That's not the physical pain from the accident. That's the emotional pain from the accident.
That's just leaving it all on the playing field. He had tried to hold off Johnny Sauter a couple times, then just tried to bump him a little bit getting down into turn 3, and it just turned his truck around.
Yeah, when he pulled back off him, he just lost grip in the rear. What an amazing veteran job Johnny Sauter did once he lost that lead on the restart.
So Rudy Fugle has been so close here at Dover. He won with Kyle Busch in 2014, but he's has come up empty a couple of times since when they've had race-winning trucks, and he's not going to get the victory as crew chief tonight either, as Noah Gregson climbs out. Boy, they made contact multiple times. Watch this one.
This is Gregson just not acknowledging that Johnny got to the outside. He said, I'm taking this exit, and Johnny ran into the wall trying to make the pass, and then right there, just too aggressive, too high, getting in the corner. Johnny tried to turn in, and Noah was just out of shape. He's out of position as he approached the corner. See how late he tries to make that move right there. And
yeah, Johnny was just driving straight down the straightaway. He hadn't turned into Noah or anything like that. Hard contact, though, with a safer barrier.
You know what this gets us, Phil? A chance to do it all over again.
Yeah, a little bit of overtime action.
My opening comments about this race is who would prevail, the youth or the experience?
Coming back to the white, still down there, still down there.
I wonder with...
He's spun out, he got a flat tire from hitting you. Caution is out. We'll have to do an overtime start.
I'm going to say, Johnny Sauter was not going to give Noah Gregson... Wow, that was a big hit. I don't think Sauter was going to give Gregson any room after the way Sauter was pinched coming off turn 2 on that highlight that we saw.
And Sauter hit the wall as they approached turn 3.
Yeah.
He was pushed up so high down the back straightaway, he bounced off the wall before they made contact.
This in the 17 previous races have also all started inside the top 10. Snyder holding on to it and locks it down, doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, that was a great job on Mike. You saw him nail the throttle when he got sideways to keep that truck from backing up into the outside safer barrier. He was tracking first. He was a fast truck. Had a shot at it.
Right there.
He did, like you said, a great job. But you heard the rev limiter hitting as he gunned that truck to keep it off the outside wall.
I got you.
Hopefully he didn't.
So frustrating.
Hopefully he didn't hurt his engine. I think that's the only thing to worry about. Have to have some new tires. Wonder what Matt Crafton's thinking. Where are you going, son?
And Matt was already on the racetrack because Myatt was finishing his lap through 3 and 4 there. So I would think that NASCAR may give Matt an opportunity to cool his truck off a little bit. And he's right towards the end of this qualifying session.
This is just bottoms out there on the left rear, and I guess that was just enough. It was probably free already, and when it bottomed out, and like you said, Phil, right there in the gas keeps him from that outside wall, and he was smart enough to come out of the gas when it started going down toward the inside. So nice job by the young man.
Let's go real time and take a listen.
Sounds like a storm, doesn't it?
Like the one we had this morning here.
Yellow, got one spinning down the front.
Bo Lamastus.
Bo was running in the 16th position.
All clear.
Needs to get that truck refired. The field is going into turn number 3. If he could get refired and get turned around, he would not lose another lap. He's currently being shown 2 laps down.
Seen a lot of speed out of that 54 truck this year, Phil.
David Gilliland and Bo Lamastus own that truck, and Gilliland's done a nice job in it. Now Lamastus backing it up, and
it was an aggressive backup. You could see probably just trying to position himself to get in his pit because of those flat tires.
He certainly doesn't want to drive all the way around the racetrack with those flat tires.
under caution here at Kansas. Stuart Friesen out front. The pass of Noah Gragson. Restart when we return. 33 at Josh Rayom. Good news for the 51, right?
Yeah, good news for a lot of people that actually need to save a little fuel. Everybody that stopped and is going to try to make it from the end. Obviously, Brett Moffitt doesn't need to save the fuel right now.
And what I'm wondering, Phil, is I mean, this didn't play out as Moffitt would have hoped. I think he would like to run 10 more laps.
Absolutely.
And
I'm not sure he'll even pit, Michael, because he's already made his bet. He needs to probably have a little fresher tires in these guys because he's going to have so many trucks to drive through. If I'm him, I think I would gamble and maybe.
Able to sort it out, but there was definitely, and Matt cracked a lot of smoke coming out of the back of the 88.
You can see all the damage to the left rear quarter panel.
And the caution is out.
Tough break for the 22 truck there. I saw some sparks off of him, but a big break for Matt Crafton. He's got to get to pit road and work on that fender.
Look at all the damage to that back of that truck.
And watch Gilliland. Bam!
Yeah, that front end fit right in that little crevice there in the back of that 88.
He's the one that made it.
That's true. That's true.
He knew it would fit. And then watch this. Jordan Anderson back there. John Hunter Nemechek was on the bottom, and Jordan just didn't know he was there. Came down, did a nice job saving it. But then look at the 22 truck. We talked about Self and the good run he is having. That's his second truck today, Phil.
So on that restart, there were about, what, a handful of different incidents?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the restart and a couple of...
Caution's out.
Turn 4. It's the 45 of Fontaine. Big hit on the right side. Going to end his night.
Justin looking for another good finish tonight. Had a top 10 at Daytona, first race of the year. Top, you see top of your screen. They're already into the outside wall. He was running back in the 23rd spot.
Yeah, a couple of top 10s for Fontaine this season. It's been road.
Oh, trouble.
And one up into the wall. It's the 83 of Bailey Curry.
Does a nice job getting that truck down off the racetrack with a bunch of trucks coming at him.
Curry was in the 18th spot and some pretty significant rear end damage. Curry, the 21-year-old from Driftwood, Texas, so a home game for Curry as well. Family and friends here watching. It's always a shame when you're running at your home track. You really want to do well in front of the hometown fans.
Just got a little bit loose. He was on the outside of the 17 of Bo Lamastus and just got away from him.
We're fortunate too, because that one could have collected some others. But as you said, Phil, Curry did a nice job getting it back down the track after making that wall contact, and everyone else was able to avoid being collected.
Got a little bit loose and then caught it, and then the thing really snapped.
You know, he got up in the gray. That second, when you said he caught it, he was a little high up in the.
For some significant adjustments, had that report that he was really in a bad way in regards to the handling of that truck, and here he's side by side with Austin Wayne Self, and this is what happens.
He got a little bit loose right on the bottom, and then he just needed some more room. And fortunately, he didn't take Austin Wayne Self with him.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got onto the apron just a tiny bit, and that's what moved him up.
He got up out of the groove and into the wall hard.
I think he cut a right front tire. We were watching him during the commercial break, Vince, and he was actually right in front of our leader, Todd Gilliland. And he just went down in the corner. It looked like the truck never would turn. Let's see if we can take a look. There's the 4 of Gilliland. Watch the 17. Watch, he just goes right, tries to turn it, and it just goes right into the outside wall.
He slowed down enough entering the corner. I think he felt it when he was entering the corner.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
It's contact with the 6 of Norm Benning.
Yeah, cut that right front tire down. Bo was having a pretty good ride there.
Be disappointed. He was running 10th at the time. Was trying to get around Dalton Sargent, and the contact occurred.
You know, some people would call this a racing incident. I don't believe that was so.
So you've got the 25 of Sargent and fellow rookie Myatt Snyder in the 13. Who's at fault there?
It looked to me like Myatt Snyder was going to try to block the 25 Dalton Sargent's advance and actually try to use Jennifer Jo Cobb as a pick. But they got together. Dalton wasn't. He said, I either, you know, he probably said, I got to slam on the brakes or whatever, and they made contact, and it turned Myatt right into Jennifer.
From that last shot, Phil, looking up the straightaway, I got to disagree.